governor and Speaker Dillon have repeatedly said that they support eliminating the MBT surcharge if there is a plan to pay for it. Last week, the Senate approved a plan that not only improves education by passing the school aid budget, but would also improve our state's economic competitiveness by starting the phase out of the MBT over the next 3 years. So we think that the ball is now in the House's court. If the governor and the speaker don't like the proposal that passed the Senate, now is the time for them to respond. We're here today to urge Democrats and Republicans and the House and the Senate and the executive office to come together. No more extensions, no more kicking the can down the road. Now is the time to negotiate a comprehensive budget solution that improves our tax climate and balances the state budget in a way that includes many cost-saving reform measures. Thank you.
I'm Sarah Hubbard, Senior Vice President of Government Relations from the Detroit Regional Chamber, and I'd like to wrap this speaking part of the conference up by really asking that the legislature continue to focus on reforms. We do appreciate the action by the Senate by moving forward legislation that would phase out the Michigan business tax surcharge. Certainly that's one of our top priorities, to eliminate the surcharge. But at the same time, we also need a balanced budget going forward. Reforms that have been continually expressed by the business community include those around reforming the Michigan Department of Corrections, healthcare system, Medicaid, services at the local government level. There are a number of different reforms out there that we've offered, some that have been introduced in legislation, some that are still being worked out behind the scenes, but we would hope that the legislature would refocus their efforts on moving forward with some of those, in fact, to help provide savings in the budget so that we can count on fully phasing out the surcharge into the future. We have continued concerns that a continuing budget doesn't really get us there, that the legislature needs to work together. They need to finalize the job. Let's get it done, and let's put this to bed so we can refocus on reforms. With that, we'd be happy to take some questions if anybody has any.
Questions?
How realistic is it for you to believe that the Democrat-controlled House would take this up? They seem to be rather unhappy about it last week when the Senate dropped it into the deal. Is this just try to keep the pressure on them, or do you think it's realistic to believe they actually do what the Senate said on it?
Well, I don't think people thought getting a K-12 budget was realistic a week ago. So it is within the possible. It's an opportunity, and we're optimistic about it.
I just realized Jared's here too. Did you want to say yours?
No, go ahead.
Yeah. You missed the preview.
I have another meeting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Part of our message today to the governor, to the speaker, to the Senate Majority Leader is that we're willing to participate in the give and take of the legislative process. And there was movement last week in the Senate. This is an opportunity for the House to take a step toward that same middle ground. And we think it's not a lack of ideas. As Sarah mentioned, all of the groups here at one time or another have endorsed 5, 10, 15 different cost-saving reform measures. I think together we've endorsed cost-saving reform measures that would save 1.5, 1.7, even $2 billion by some estimates. Many of us have supported the plan outlined by Speaker Dillon to unify or consolidate public employee health plans. The Speaker himself estimated that that plan would save $800, $900 million, maybe even $1 billion a year. If that estimate is off, even by 50%, why not take action today to save $400 million next year? The governor has been talking about tax increases on working families and job providers in the range of $400 to $500 or $600 million. Through cost-saving reform measures, you can afford to phase out the MBT surcharge and eliminate the need for any further tax increases on working families or job providers. So there's not a shortage of ideas. There's plenty of middle ground if people want to resolve this issue in a comprehensive and a cooperative manner. What we need now is action and leadership, and for the three key leaders to come together. in a way that grows the economy. The biggest problem we face today is not the method of taxation. The biggest tax problem we face today is we're running out of taxpayers. We need more working families and job providers paying taxes. A strong and growing economy is really the only and the best guarantee we can have that there will be adequate revenue to fund essential state and local government public services. And sometimes that seems to get lost in the debate over the appropriations process.
I have a question. Could we go around the horn here and have people introduce themselves outside of Sarah Rich and Charlie? Start with you.
Linda Gobler, Michigan Grocers Association.
Rob Fowler, Small Business Association of Michigan.
Kristen Belzer, Lansing Regional Chamber.
Amy Deloney, Michigan Restaurant Association. Eric Rule, Michigan Retailers Association.
Chris Fisher, Associated Builders and Contractors of Michigan.
Mike Johnston, Michigan Manufacturers Association.
Robert Campo, Michigan Association of Realtors.
Scott Hummel, Michigan Association of Insurance Agents.
Joelle Demand, Michigan Bankers Association.
Jared Rodriguez with the Grand Rapids Area Chamber. Good question.
It is a horn.
And there are other members of this coalition who just aren't here just because they're absent.
Jack, if I could just add to your question about the room possibility, the fact that the governor and the speaker both indicated they'd like to see the surcharge go away, I think heightens our thought that this could be done. And Rich outlined several opportunities in terms of negotiating. I think that's kind of why we're here today, to just say, hey, we've all said the same thing, let's get it done.